Hey there, hi there, ho there. Welcome back to the Weed Cap. I'm your host, Caleb. With me, as always, is my fiance, Lauren. She's beautiful. Things aren't going great over here. You guys were promised a tetralogy episode.
Yeah.
An episode on a tetralogy. I'll just go ahead and spill the beans. It was going to be Lethal Weapon. My Friday was black. My Black Friday was very black and dark because... somewhere around 3 or 4 o'clock, first of all, we didn't start the Lethal Weapon stuff because we had stuff we had to do.
You had to work Friday.
Yeah, it was
free.
It was supposed to be a day of nothing. I ended up having to work for a little bit. All good there. Around 3:30, I get up from my couch and I go, I gotta take a little peachkadil. I gotta do a whiz. A leak ski. I go into the bathroom to do a leak ski.
The Whiz Palace.
The Whiz Palace. I lift the seat because I'm a gentleman. And then I pulled a muscle in my lower back, lifting my penis out of my pants. Just kidding. That's not what happened. What happened is I went to go to the bathroom. I started urinating. Long story short, well, at first I thought I had like a UTI.
Yeah, we were very
something.
convinced.
It was like pulling razor blades out of my dick. Turns out just chlamydia, so we're all good there. Just kidding. So I had a UTI. Things weren't great.
It was a UTI.
I saw a doctor last night. On Saturday. This was Sunday morning. I saw a doctor last night. And it turns out that I just have yet another bout of kidney stones, and a jagged kidney stone had cut the length of my urethra on its way out, and that's why I was experiencing some penile pain.
Yeah, apparently UTIs aren't very common in guys.
No, as a matter of fact, the doctor was like, "Are you sexually active?" And I was like,
"Hell yeah, brother!
Look at me. What do you think?"
Well, she couldn't. Were you on Telegram? Were you on Zoom?
I was on Zoom. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, yeah, as active as I can be. I mean, it's been 10 years. I mean, we have a life, like we have stuff we have to do. We're tired at the end of the day, Okay. Sometimes you work all day and it sounds like a great idea, but then
when
I fall asleep.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So I was like, yeah. And I was like, so I think I just might have a UTI or something, because I've had kidney stones before, but they always came with a horrible pain in my flank. This time, didn't even know I was having them.
No. Oh, you had the flank pain little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, but not preceding the penile pain.
Flank pain is also common with
UTIs
like a kidney infection. Bladder infection, right.
So I was like, I think I have a UTI. The doctor was like, men don't get those. She was like, men your age don't get UTIs. If you have anything, you have an STI.
Oh, no.
And I was like, well, that couldn't be possible. And she was like, well, I'll take you at your word, but just know if it's not a kidney stone, it's some sort of sexually transmitted disease. And I was like, well, you'll be reading about me on the news if that's what it is, because I'm going to have to beat a bitch. I'm
faithful, motherfucker. I've never cheated on you.
I appreciate that. But I do have kidney stones.
We don't have STIs.
Going down the length of my... No, it was a kidney stone.
Yeah.
And I've had kidney stones before. It's never fun. So, anyways, we're here Sunday. My shaft is raw. The inside of my...
my God.
My
what a visual.
I have a raw urethra to the point where it hurts... against boxers. I mean, it hurts to just hang. It just hurts.
It's hanging and it's hurting.
And it's not hanging super far. It's not.
Just hurting.
It's just hanging and hurting. And
you need a nipple patch for your urethra.
A nipple patch.
Yeah, like runners wear nipple patches so that their nipples don't get rashed.
Chafed?
Yeah. So you need one for your top of your penile.
The top of my penile? That's not a bad idea. The penile top. It's not a bad idea. I was thinking about
mushroom tip.
Putting a pillow in my pants, but I think it would still chafe.
You'd have to put like a sock, if anything. Like, how are you fitting a whole pillow in there?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really think it out, to be honest with you. All I can think about is the searing pain in my penile when I pee. Well,
the craziest thing is I'm the one that told you had a UTI because, like, I don't think kidney stones. I forget that guys get those. Ladies can get them,
I think
too,
everybody gets... Your mom one time got kidney stones,
That's very true.
Called you to take her to the hospital, and we
drunk.
were hammered I was like, well, to be fair, it was a Saturday night. It was a Saturday night at, like...
Either Friday or Saturday.
Friday or Saturday, but it was, like, 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're preparing to pass out. Not go to sleep, pass out. We are preparing... We were about to do a little and then go to bed, and then get a call from your mother, and I'm like, I'm under the covers. I'm like, hey, what's going on here? And you're like, I'm just kidding. Guys, the movie this week, and again, here's the deal.
I picked it because Caleb didn't want any parts.
I didn't even want to do an episode. This episode you're probably not going to like. It is what it is. The movie this week is The Substance. Now, I'm going to let Lauren take the lead on this episode because, to be totally honest with you, he
fell asleep like halfway through.
After realizing that I had kidney stones, I waged a battle against my body last night with THC. I mean, I was blasting blue cheese into all of the molecules of my body, and
RSO capsules.
I was there was enough THC in me to take down a young Willie Nelson.
And he was young Willie Nelson last night because he was taken down.
Singing the blues. I was
snoring.
I was in bed and I was nodding out like a heroin addict.
And I knew he was going to fall asleep because as soon as he was like, we're going to watch this movie in bed, I was like, okay, one of us is going to fall asleep. I thought it was going to be me.
Well, I was having some flank pain and it hurt to sit on the couch. I had to lay in bed and then
he was having neck pain and then he was getting comfortable. He had a blanket around him. He was looking like a fucking snug as a bug in a rug. And then you passed out.
It was a serape, okay?
And you passed out.
Yeah, I passed out.
The dog was literally farting in my face also while you're just snoring, honk shoeing next to me.
Well, I had to.
Smelled like fart and anal gland.
Ugh, anal gland. Our dog has anal gland issues.
Yeah,
smells like a fish market.
It smells fucking awful.
It's bad.
I didn't know that before having this dog, but I would never.
Not good. It smells horrible. And it's surprising that this movie desensitized me because you get tits early in this movie.
Oh my god, tits, ass, bush.
Tits, ass, bush,
it's got
labia.
Everything.
And the thing about a labia that I know is that there's a menorah, which is for the Jewish labias, and there's a majora
for the rest
for the Gentiles. Yes, the labia menorah. And this is the thing is that in these movies you have to. I didn't like this movie for a number of number one.
It was really like bloody.
I don't do blood and I don't do needles.
I wasn't expecting that.
And there was like blood and needles
all over the place.
And it's like it's like a roller coaster because you show me tits and I'm like, okay, I'm here.
Yeah.
Then you show me a needle and I'm like, oh
and
no, frightened turtle, you know. And it's just terrible. And I like a movie that teases you with the tits.
There's no teasing here.
No, it was just full-blown Demi Moore, 61 years old at the time of filming, and you look at her and you go...
Her tits are nice.
You go, she's not 61. There's no way she's 61. But then they pan the camera around and you're like, oh, that's a 61-year-old booty.
Yeah.
No big deal. I mean...
No, I mean, with age, everything goes down.
I hope my ass looks that good when I'm 61.
Me too. Her tits look really good,
her tits
for 61.
61. They look good for 41. So
did we ever find out if they were fake or not?
So here's the deal. I did some brief reading. Those are Demi Moore's real titties.
Wow.
So good for her.
Good for her.
Now, the younger version of her had...
I don't know what that actress's name is.
Margaret Qualley?
Yes.
Qualley, whoever the fuck. She used prosthetic tits because she has mosquito bite tits.
I was going to say, she doesn't have large boobs. She's from something that we've seen. We watched a movie or something with it, or a show.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yep.
And it wasn't this one because you fell asleep.
Well, I just remember her right finger looked like she had been in a pool.
Okay, yes, that's like halfway through the movie where you got it.
Take me through the plot. I want you to run me down the plot.
Okay, so this movie is, I don't know what, I guess there's like a underlying message to this movie, like of like, don't change who you are, like just be happy with who you are, but like, it was fucking terrifying towards the end. Like I was sitting there like, oh my God, and he's asleep.
I call it Tits Bush, and then I was like, you
Anyway,
know what?
so it stars Demi Moore. Is it Demi Moore or Demi?
Who cares?
Okay, well, she is a fitness instructor
Named Elizabeth Sparkle.
And she's doing her damn thing even though she's 61. I mean, it's clear that she's older, but like she's still out here doing the and a 1 and a 2.
Well, the movie's it's on her 50th birthday, so she's 61, but she's playing
she's
the
50
the 50
in the movie.
Yeah.
You're right, because when she's done her little dance, she goes down the hallway and everyone's like, "Happy birthday!"
Yeah, she's doing like a tie bow kind of.
But she's having a little bit of a crisis because she knows that she's old. And anyway, she's trying to go to the bathroom. The women's restroom is closed. She goes into the men's room and runs into one of the stalls. After her comes, what is it? The producer or like I guess the producer of the show that she run. I don't really know, but it's Dennis Quaid, and he's a fucking dick. And he's talking about how old she is and how she needs to get out of there. They need to find fresh meat. They need someone young and beautiful and blah, 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 blah. So anyway, that sends her into a spiral. Because it's her 50th birthday. She's already feeling down about herself.
She gets lunch with him, and he is...
It's gross.
Dude, I felt so bad for you when we were doing that because I was like, I know that when I'm blackout drunk... You've seen me blackout drunk eating shrimp.
I've never seen anyone eat shrimp like that. And if you ate shrimp like that, I feel like that was exaggerated for the movie. He's literally just like, oh my God, it's so gross.
There's only one thing I eat like that.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Oh. Go ahead.
So yeah, Dennis Quaid is basically like firing her at this lunch, but like for some reason he's also avoiding her every chance that he can get. So like he's like, yeah, you're fired, but like, oh my God, George, and then he runs away, and then so she's crushed. Now George
is the man that he sees across from the.
Yeah, George is just some random guy. He's like
firing. It's uncomfortable, and he goes, "Oh, George," and then he runs away because you said, "Oh, George," you weren't gonna like. People are gonna be like, "Who's George?"
George is just a random guy.
He's of the jungle. How crazy would that have been? That would have been a much better movie if just randomly Brendan Fraser was there as George of the Jungle. If he's at the lunch, he's eating the shrimp sexually. And he moaning, and he fires.
Also, it's the grossest type of shrimp, the ones with the fucking heads and the eyes on them.
Let me tell you, the thing that bothered me the most about that is he was dipping it in mayonnaise.
It was some sort of,
it was like a remoulade or something. If you don't dip your shrimp in cocktail sauce, I mean, that's literally what it's for. I mean, that's why it was invented.
Pause. Outback has a grilled shrimp dish, and it comes with a remoulade, and it's good.
No. I will never put. You know what really bothers me, real quick, is that I love cocktails. Ask Lauren. I put cocktail sauce on chicken sometimes. It's tomato. It's ketchup and it's horseradish. I like to make my own. I used to like to put it on raw oysters. I got some anxiety about raw oysters.
Yeah, don't eat those anymore.
A couple people died from eating raw oysters. I don't eat them anymore, but I miss them. But I just feel as though cocktail sauce is the jingle all the way of condiments. It's the best one, and no one knows.
Nobody uses it for anything other than shrimp, really.
Yeah, it's like God, I love
seafood, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'll eat a tartar sauce on fish.
A lot of people dip seafood in butter.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah,
I like cocktail sauce. And then if like we went to Conrad's in Perry Hall, Maryland, and got fried hard crabs like 2 months ago, and like 3 months ago at this point.
Yeah,
it's for your mammy's birthday, so that's 2 months ago. Yeah, I
think it was before that.
Was it really?
It was because we helped them with something.
Oh, okay. They probably needed someone to come over and
they treated us to dinner because we took everything out of their shed and moved everything around. Don't you remember?
No.
We spent like half a day moving shit around their backyard and taking it to putting it in the back of my dad's car and moving it.
Oh, that was the previous weekend. Your dad was stacking wood, and I unprompted.
We do a lot of things for those.
I got in the car and I went over, and he was like, "What are you doing here?"
As you should. You should help your parents out.
Yeah, I'm here to stack wood. And he was like, huh.
Also like to say I'm an only child, so Caleb's filling the void.
Yeah, I bet we've been together for so long that now we just...
That's just their son over there. Although that's kind of weird because
we've been together for so long married. That I'm getting texts about things that need to be done Lauren doesn't even know about.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, we got to reshingle this, and it's like, well, I don't know how to shingle. It's like, oh, well, we'll figure it out. My favorite thing about Lauren's dad is we'll do these massive projects, and I get over there, and he's got no plan.
No, he doesn't. He literally just
no plan.
Goes with it.
He'll be like, hey, I got a cord of wood delivered. We need to stack it. Okay, where are we stacking it? Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
Or he'll be like, I'm going to use this weathered, falling apart piece of broomstick that's been sitting outside for the last 20 years. I'm going to use that, and we're going to stack it up against this on a hill, by the way. So it'll be fine, though.
Yeah. Sorry for the detour. But anyways, cocktail sauce is great. If you hear any disgusting licking sounds, it's our cat. She's just chilling right now. So go ahead, Lauren.
Our cat Pearl.
Keep going.
So anyway, after this lunch, Demi Moore, Elizabeth Sparkle, she is quite distraught, right? And so she's driving, she's leaving the lunch, and she sees that they're taking one of her billboards down, and that hurts her. But it also distracts her from driving, and she gets smacked, like literally smacked, and her car flips a bunch. And surprisingly, she's good. She doesn't get a scratch. She doesn't get a dent. She doesn't get broken bone, nothing. So the people and the doctors are telling her, like, yeah, that's awesome that you're okay. But she's having a mental crisis, guys, because it's her 50th birthday and she's not young anymore and she just got fired. So she starts crying. And then Mr. Nurse Assistant, who is still around for some reason, comes up and tells her, you would be a good candidate. And she's like, I thought I was ready to leave. And he goes, no, I just have one more exam to do. Examines her spine for some reason. And then she says, this is weird. What are you doing? And he's like, I don't know. I don't think he really says anything else. He was just being super. You
would be a good candidate.
Yeah, I just said that.
Okay, sorry.
But he's got a very distinct birthmark on his hand. And that's important to remember because later on, you'll know why. So anyway, she goes, does he give her a card or something?
Yeah, yeah.
Or no, does it
he rolls a piece of paper up and puts it in her
jacket. So when she's leaving, she pulls this piece of paper out of her jacket, and it's a USB that says the substance, and it said, it changed my life.
Yeah, holy fuck, the cat's in the Christmas tree.
No, you're lying.
This is not fucking good, dude.
Is she in there?
Yeah, she's just fucking running. All right, keep going.
Okay, so she's like, at first she's like, oh, this is bullshit. She watches the USB. It's basically saying how you can like duplicate yourself, and it's not really like a different person. It's just a better version of you, and you do 7 days you, 7 days them. You have to switch every 7 days. It's something about like, yeah, you're separate, but you're also one. And she's thinking, what a crock of shit, and she throws the shit away. But then over the next couple of days, she's like, just getting thrown in her face that she's old and that she needs to be replaced. And so she starts thinking about it, and she's like, you know what? I think I do need a better, younger version of myself. So she gets the USB out of her trash.
Yep.
She fucking calls the number. She's like, I'd like to order. They give her an address and no other information until, I don't know the timeline of this movie. It's shot very weird. The camera angles are weird. It could have been a day, could have been a couple of days. Something came in the mail for her, and it's a fucking card that says 503. And she's like, what is this? And then she realizes, oh my God, the address. She goes, it's a tiny little alley with a door that doesn't even open halfway, but for some reason has a card reader on the outside, which she scans her 503 card, and she crawls her ass in there, and eventually walks down a dingy hallway into a brightly lit, stark white room with a bunch of lockers that some of them have numbers, some of them say nothing.
Okay.
She finds her number, 503. Mm-hmm. She scans her little card. She opens it. It's a box that says, surprise, surprise, 503. That's what she's going to be called for the rest of this movie.
503.
503. She takes it home. She opens it all up. It's like a bunch of fucking needles. Like a bunch of needles. Like 503.
Like, it's okay.
That's what she's referred to in this. I think it's an experiment.
She's 503. It's not like Rey Mysterio 619. Go ahead.
I don't know what that means.
I'll show you after the podcast is over.
So.
Oh, there you go.
So she's
Rey
opening
Mysterio.
this box, and she also. I'd like to point out, there's no instructions in this box. These people are just sticking needles in veins, and it doesn't say where or how or anything. It literally is just like, here's a needle, here's some food, here's a fucking.
The food
contraption.
Looks like jizz, by the way.
It does. It looks like baby food jizz.
Baby food jizz. Yep. That would be horrible if that's what we were feeding babies. Go ahead. Continue.
So she's like, you can tell she doesn't know if she really wants to do this, but then she's standing in the mirror, and this is where we see her naked for the first time, because we do see a lot of nakedness in this. She's standing in the mirror, she's looking at herself, and we're like, oh, her tits are fine. Like, what's wrong with her tits? And then it's like, oh, okay, her butt's a little saggy, but she's just like picking herself apart. She's not happy with what she sees.
She has dysmorphia.
She's like, I'm old, I'm outdated, I'm worn down. She's like, I need a better version of myself.
She says, I've been rode hard and put away wet.
So what does she do? She takes this fucking activator shit that they sent her, and she injects herself with it.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't even tell you where to inject it, by the way.
Nope.
She's just putting it in her veins, thinking,
And then
let's go.
a disgusting younger version of her crawls out of her back.
Yeah, I thought she was gonna poop it out, but her back opens up, and she just like sheds another person out of it. Disgusting. I had to cover my eyes, and that's he didn't like that.
Right around the time where I started thinking I could go to bed right now, because I was just I don't do anything like that.
I didn't know it was gonna be like that. I didn't know anything about this movie other than it was weird. I did tell you that there was some.
Yeah, I don't think that it's your. I don't think that I'm not faulting you.
Also, people said, "Don't watch this with your boyfriend. Don't watch this with your man." And I'm like, "Why?" And then I saw it was because it was tits and ass. But like,
there's a lot of tits and ass. But I mean, who doesn't appreciate that in a movie?
I think it was necessary, I guess, to say whatever message they were trying to say here.
Don't watch it with your. Do women just have men who are just beating off like while watching? Like what? Like what?
They're just getting hard because they saw tits and ass on the screen. They're like, "Oh my god!"
Well. My penis
Rock
wasn't
hard.
in fighting shape for this movie. Maybe I would have gotten hard, but my shit was on soft. You could have tied a rope with my shit. It was
okay.
It was not good. Continue. Sorry, I'm experiencing some
penile discomfort.
Penile discomfort at this moment. So it's fucked up because
Awkward.
there are people who and I was feeling fine last night, and now I'm feeling it.
Yeah, you said you were fine this morning. Well, we have to get your medication from the
I know. I gotta
from
get
the pharmacy. It doesn't open till 10.
The thing that's fucked up is like there are people who enjoy their pee holes being played with. It's called sounding. Yeah.
What?
It's called sounding. It's
they
disgusting.
enjoy it being hurt.
Disgusting. Yeah, they put stuff in it and stuff. It's disgusting. Just thinking about it. Oh my god, I'm getting hot. My face is getting hot.
Oh my.
But it's I just feel there's nothing worse than there being an issue with your genitals.
Agreed. I agree.
There's nothing worse than that. It's just, it's like, I mean, I would imagine guys.
That's like your mini me down there.
Guys are pretty close with their dicks, but me and my dick, we do everything together.
Okay.
We go to Buffalo Wild Wings together. I
assume all guys go everywhere.
We drink 16 beers on
a
a Saturday night together. You know, and I spend a lot of time with it when I'm drinking 16 beers.
Yeah.
Actually, I went dry. I think that's honestly probably what started all of this is I had a dry Thanksgiving. I woke up Thanksgiving morning and I go, I'm not going to.
You drank something.
No, I didn't.
You didn't drink anything with your family?
No. Literally had no drinks. You were here. I had nothing to drink.
I had a bunch of red wine.
You were drinking. My mom was drinking. My stepfather was drinking. My brother had a beer.
That's how we roll.
I had nothing.
It was 10 a.m.
I had hash capsules. And bong hits. I had nothing to drink.
Fucked up on
I haven't had anything to drink since Monday of last week.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that I'm just gonna stay. I think I'm just gonna not drink. I think that moving forward, I'm just going to...
You're just going to not drink?
I think so. Yeah, I think I need to take like a year off or something.
A year?
Yeah, I just
Holy hell.
I told you this Friday morning. I woke up and I was
drinking.
like, yeah, you can drink. I don't care. I'm not saying like I have a problem. I like drinking.
Do you think I have a problem?
No. I'm just saying that
we don't drink a lot, guys, by the way.
I mean, when I drink beers, I get pretty...
But I'm saying we're not drinking every day.
No, not every day.
We're not drinking every day.
We binge drink on the weekends, which is not good.
Yeah.
It's not good to do. But,
don't do that.
I mean, when I have beers, I roll through beers pretty fast. Not like your father rolls through beers on the weekends.
My dad also does beer and vodka. He does a mix.
I mean, that's the thing is when I drink beers way too fast. And I just keep going until But anyways,
it's too late.
I haven't had any beer. I don't think that I'm going to be doing any drinking. And it's probably the podcast is going to suffer for it.
No.
When I have like 2 beers, I feel like the podcast is much better. But you know, what are you going to do? So go ahead and continue, Lauren. I apologize.
Okay. Okay, so once this second lady pops out of her back, she's like, oh my God.
Which is an insane sentence.
Well, it's just what happened. She's like, oh my God, I look so pretty. And see, I was confused, and I think you were too, because we were like, are they the same person? Is she living in her body when the other lady, because like, keep in mind, Demi Moore is on the ground, passed the fuck out. Elizabeth Sparkles could be dead. I don't know.
Yeah.
She's literally just laying there.
For 7 days.
Back agape, by the way, because new lady is just looking in the mirror, admiring her tits and ass. Wow. That's when we see Margaret.
She came out.
Whatever her
Margaret
name is.
Qualley. She comes out with a trimmed bush.
Yeah, it is trimmed.
Because Demi's bush was just out of control.
No, it wasn't.
I mean, it was a full bush.
It was a full bush, but she had the sides trimmed. You don't be judging bushes.
Okay, sorry. Don't watch this movie with your boyfriends, guys. Go ahead. Don't be judging bushes. I would judge a bush competition. I'm from the 70s. I'm an old soul. I like bush, okay? I'm fine with it. I'm all good with it. I could do a bush judging competition.
What is this, a bush campaign?
No, I'm just saying.
Grow your bush out.
I'm just saying for you
no
to be like
December.
You know, I could that would be like the ideal, like a bush judging competition while I'm also participating in a chicken wing eating competition. So I'm looking over and going, 9-5, and then that would be yours. And then I'm eating chicken wings, and I look back.
You give me a 9-5?
Yeah, and I look back over and I go 4-3, and then I, what's wrong with a 9-5? That's a high score.
That's not a 10.
Well, I think you got
you know what your bush is?
Oh, what?
You want to know?
Yeah, hit me with a score.
4.
A 4?
Yep.
4. Wow. Because it's too long.
Because your bush is out of control.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks. I'll be trimming that today. But yeah, it is what it is. So
anyway, if anyone's hosting a bush fucking competition and they need a judge, reach out to Caleb at the Weedcap Podcast at gmail.com.
The Weedcap Podcast at gmail.com. He himself has a 4 bush, but maybe I'll be like one of those guys on the cooking shows who could never hack it as like a restaurant chef, but comes in and just judges people's restaurants, so that's good.
I don't think that's how that works. I think that they're like renowned chefs.
You insulted my bush. Go ahead.
You insulted my bush by giving me a 9-5.
A 9-5 is a monster score. A monster score. A 9-5. There's no perfect.
You should give me a 10 out of 10 because I'm your fiance and I'm the last bush you're ever gonna fucking see.
That's fine. I don't care. I'm happy to have you in your bush. I'm saying a 9-5 is a crazy score. I think a 9-5 carries more weight than a. I think a 9-5 carries more weight than a 10.
Well,
because you go a 10, you're like, oh, that's a perfect score. Which, by the way, is like...
there's room for improvement is what you're trying to say?
No, there's no room for improvement.
Improvement.
Okay.
Let me finish talking about this fucking movie. We're not even halfway through it yet.
Just give me the summarized version. We're at 28 minutes and my dick hurts. Keep going. Just hit me with the cliff notes and let's get the fuck out of here and we'll hit them with a better episode Wednesday.
Well, you've been talking about your dick and your bush this whole fucking time.
Whole time. I think a re-listen will disprove that.
Okay.
But 9-5, go ahead and go.
Fuck you, 4.
Okay. All right. Well, that's just such a rude... That's such a rude score to give your fiance's bush.
I gave it out of spite.
Yeah, well, keep going. Give the fucking rest of this review out of spite so we can hurry the fuck up and ice my dick.
So second lady, her name is Sue, the one that cracked out of the back. She sews up Demi Moore, hooks her up to some food because she's got to survive for 7 days just laying there. And she goes out and she buys, I don't know where she's getting money, but she buys a bunch of cute clothes and she goes and she auditions to be like the next big workout queen, and she gets it, of course, because why wouldn't she? And this is how that movie goes. And then Dennis Quaid, she's like, oh my god, you're the best. All this stuff happens. She goes, she gets her new apartment. Come to find out that's not going to work out, because she actually needs to be like in the same area as Demi Moore, because after 7 days she cannot function. She needs to go back and switch bodies. Also, by the way, she has to inject herself with spinal fluid from Demi Moore every day in order to function. It's called something, I can't remember, a stabilizer, I think it was what it is. And so yeah, anyway, she starts abusing it, and she starts staying out for longer than 7 days. And every time she does that, some shit happens to Demi Moore. And so she calls the place and she's like, what the fuck? I'm literally turning into an old witch. My fingers all gross and nasty. And the people are like, you guys need to figure it out. She's you or her, work it out amongst each other. And then just hung up. Right? So Demi Moore is like, what the fuck? But then every single time that the other half, the other bitch comes out, she's pissed because Demi Moore's just running around eating, doing nothing. She's like, this bitch is ruining my life. So eventually she's like, I'm just going to keep doing me. Literally is tapping Demi Moore's spinal fluid dry. And then it comes time, so she's going to do this big New Year's Eve show. She gets the spinal fluid. There's no spinal fluid left. It's dried up. It's black. She calls the number. She's like, I need more spinal fluid. And they're like, you need to let Demi Moore come back to life so she can regenerate it for you, you stupid bitch. And she's like, no, my New Year's Eve show is tomorrow. And they're like, well, that's literally the only reason.
I've been growing my bush for 6 months working on this.
So she switches body with Demi Moore, who looks so scary. Caleb was asleep. I was Snapchatting him videos of her. Her titties are saggy. She has no hair. She's got a saggy butt. She's bruised all over. She's got a hunchback. It's just really not good. Okay. So she's pissed at the other girl. She's about to kill her. She goes, she calls the place. She gets the termination needle. She's about to insert it, pushes that shit halfway into her body, then realizes, oh my God, I can't kill her because she's a part of me, and today's her big night, and she needs to go and do this New Year's Eve show. So she tries to stop it. She can't. She has to do the thing where they reverse back, where they share their blood. This bitch pops up, and I'm not even kidding. She has superhuman strength. She starts kicking the shit out of Demi Moore. She kills her.
Hell yeah.
No, it's not hell yeah, because they're the same person.
Hell yeah.
So, like, once Demi Moore, she's the Matrix, she's the main one. Once she's dead, this bitch can't survive long without her. So what happens is she goes to this New Year's Eve thing, and she starts legitimately falling apart. Like, her teeth start falling out. Her ear falls off. And she's going into a frenzy because she's like, this is my big night. What am I supposed to do? Guess what she does? She goes back to the apartment. She injects herself with the activator to make a new version of herself, but it's a single time use. So guess what comes out of her? A disgusting monster. There's a titty here. There's a face on her back. There's an arm hanging out of her back. But she thinks she's beautiful. She doesn't see any of that. She looks in the mirror and she's like, oh my God, they're going to love me, which I think is insane. Okay. She puts on her fucking party dress.
Okay.
She fucking cuts out a picture of Elizabeth Sparkles, Demi Moore, cuts out a picture of her face, puts it on her disfigured face, smothers it with lipstick, and goes out into the world. She's going to go do this New Year's Eve event like that. And for some reason,
I'm sorry I missed it.
For some reason, no one is realizing that she's a disfigured monster underneath this Demi Moore mask. She can't even walk right. She gets to the New Year's Eve thing. There's titties out, by the way. You missed a bunch of titties and ass because on this New Year's Eve thing, it was live. I don't know why they were showing titties and ass on live TV, but they were. She gets out to...
Oh, I'll have to rewatch it.
She gets out to this thing, and her face blows off. Her little mask thing blows off. And now everybody sees her for who she really is, which is a terrible, crazy monster. And I'm not even kidding. The people in the audience start beating the shit out of her. Like, people in the audience think she's a monster, and they literally start coming and beating her. And one guy hits her with a chair and literally knocks the top part of her body off. And she regenerates after that. It was crazy. And then blood is spewing all over the audience. And it was like really traumatic because like no one was leaving for some reason. Everybody was just like screaming and running around. Then finally this monster gets out onto the street. Okay. And she's in Hollywood because this is where this is being filmed. And she quite literally falls apart into goo on the sidewalk. But that one face that was on the back turns out to be Elizabeth Sparkle's Demi Moore. She is a blob of flesh and goo, and she wills herself somehow over to her Hollywood star. She sits on there, and then she turns into nothing, and that's how the movie ends.
In what world are we giving daytime television fitness instructors Hollywood stars?
I don't know. In this world. I mean, they're still on TV, too. Like, this bitch was, like, the next big thing. Like, who's watching that?
The dude from Tybo? I don't think he has
that?
a Hollywood star.
Who's the dude from Tybo?
Are you kidding me?
What's
you don't know
Tybo?
about Tybo? It's karate dancing to make you have better body.
Was there one dude?
Yeah. No, I mean, there was
I'm pretty sure that guy that just died recently had a Hollywood star. What was his name?
Oh, Richard Simmons?
Yeah, Richard
Well,
Simmons.
that's totally different.
Well, how?
Hold on. Here we go. I found this for you. Tybo is a body fitness system that incorporates martial arts techniques such as stances, kicks, and punches. It became popular in the 1990s.
Okay.
And the fitness system was developed by American Taekwondo and karate practitioner Billy Blanks. He's a black dude. Not that it matters, but
he's black?
Yeah, he's super.
So is that who you were referring to, Billy Blanks?
Yeah. It's literally just dancing around. Tybo has been characterized as an excellent cardiovascular workout with very good distractions. Somebody commented on the Wikipedia and goes, further explanation needed and better source needed.
Yeah, what?
It sounds
what
like
that
Billy
mean?
Blanks himself just went ahead and did that.
Billy Blank.
It's also crazy because like he won the bronze medal at the 1981 World Games before he created the fucking I don't know. The Tybo. I think it's pretty crazy that you can just create a style of working out, and apparently in that alternate universe where people are falling apart into jelly and they.
Well, clearly these people were made of something. It's not like a real person. It's coming out of it's like a copy of something else's DNA, so it's unstable.
Billy Blanks lives in Japan now since 2009.
Well, that makes sense.
So
clearly he feels connected.
Yeah, I don't know. I have
Anyway, this was a weird movie. You can watch it with your mans if your man is not like a creep, I think. And
thank you.
I do think that it is worth a watch. Like if you're in, it is a thriller. I think I didn't know it was scary. I thought it was like a drama. I don't know.
Well,
I was misinformed.
The Substance ass. Let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, looks like I did miss some at the end there, huh? Oh well. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I mean it wasn't like.
No, there's just some. It's just some there. I mean, it's definitely.
Tits and ass.
Oh, ew, dude. What the fuck?
What?
What the fuck? I type in the Substance ass, and like the 8th result is the Wikipedia page for rectal discharge, which has its own Wikipedia page.
Well, that does make sense if you have substance coming out of your ass.
Yeah. So, anyways, guys, I've got.
Sorry for the penile talk.
No, we're not.
Okay.
No, we're not. We'll hit you with a better episode on Wednesday. This was never going to be good. This was never going to be a good. I mean, you did a great job summarizing it, but we're extremely low energy.
You should have watched the movie.
I've had no THC today because it's sometimes weed also makes me feel as though I have hyperfocus
also, you had to drive to get
on my discomfort. So yeah, we went grocery shopping early this morning at like 7:00.
Because we're fucking old.
Yeah.
Because we like to get our shit done early.
I'm an old guy with a 4.0, baby. I'm an old, disgusting guy with a 4.0 bush.
First of all, you're not old or disgusting. You're 30, and you're adorable, sexy, cute. But
with a 4.0 bush.
Your 4.0 bush could use some work.
Guys, this has been the weed. My bush could use some work. Well, do some work on it.
Let me manscape it.
Go ahead. Let's do it right now.
Okay.
Guys, we're going to go manscape. Lauren's going to turn my 4.0 bush into a 9.5. This is the weed cap. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.